Good morning, everyone. Now, I'm Apeksha, and we'll be doing with the topic preamble. We have already done the basic of it. In this, we'll deal with some cases, and let us start. So, basically, uh, we'll start with the status of preamble. Now, the preamble being the part of constitution is discussed several times in Supreme Court. So it can be understood by reading the following two cases. Beruberi case. Now this is the Beruberi Union and Exchange of Enclave case. And then there is Golaknath versus State of Punjab, and then there is Keshav Nanda Bharti versus State of Kerala. These three are very important cases in preamble. So to understand the status of preamble, Beruberi case. So it was used as a reference under Article 143(1) of the Constitution, which was on implementation of Indo-Pakistan Agreement related to Beruberi Union, and in exchanging the enclave, which were decided for consideration by the bench consisting of 8 judges. So through the Beruberi case, the court stated that preamble is the key to open the mind of makers, but it cannot be considered as a part of constitution. So therefore it is not enforceable in a court of law. So in this case, the Supreme Court held that preamble is a key to the mind of framer of Indian Constitution, and the apex court held that preamble is not the part of Indian Constitution. It is the key to the mind of framer of the Indian Constitution, but it is not a part of Indian Constitution. It was held under this case, Beruberi Union and Exchange of Enclave. It is a 1960 case. Then moving on to, before this Keshav Nanda, then there is this Golaknath versus State of Punjab, where the preamble contains in nutshell its ideals and its aspirations. In the Keshav Nanda Bharti case, the Supreme Court rejected the view that preamble is not the part of constitution, which was held under Beruberi Union and Exchange of Enclave case. Now what happened in this case? For the first time, this is a landmark case, and for the first time 13 judges bench was assembled to hear a writ petition, and the court held that preamble of constitution will now be considered as a part of constitution. So the preamble is not the supreme power or source of any restriction or prohibition, but it plays an important role in the interpretation of statutes and provision of constitution. So it can be concluded that preamble is a part of introductory part of the constitution. So in this case, the judges observe that the Sikri, Justice Sikri observed that he said, it seems to me that the preamble of our constitution is of extreme importance, and the constitution should be read and interpreted in the light of the grand and noble vision expressed in the preamble. Now, this is what he said. Preamble, what purpose the preamble serves? It was also mentioned under the case. They say it refers to the source of constitution. Now, preamble refers to the source of constitution. It embodies the enacting clause which brings into force the constitution. It declares the fundamental rights and freedom which the people of India intended to secure. So it declares the fundamental rights and freedom which the people of India intended to secure, and it also indicates the basic type of polity and the government which was to be established. Then the preamble is an epitome of broad elements of Indian Constitution. Next, the scope of the significant chapter of directive principle and fundamental right, which we will be doing later. It could be understood in the light of objective enshrined in the preamble. This was held under Bharti Chandra versus State of Mysore case, that we can Understand it even in the objectives of the which are given in the preamble. Then preamble is considered as a part of Indian constitution, but it is neither a source of any power nor a limitation thereon. This was first asserted in Re Berry case and again retroverted by Justice Matthew in Indira Gandhi versus Raj Narayan. So we'll be doing these cases in detail in the in our next lectures. Then the preamble of our constitution is very much enacted and adopted by the enacting body in the same manner as the other enacting provisions. Thus the preamble of constitution occupies the same provision as other enacting word or provision of the constitution. So this was simply held under these cases as to whether preamble is a part of constitution or not. Now the very important question which raises is the about amendability of preamble. Whether if see first it was said that it is not a part of constitution. Then later in Keshav Nanda Bharti they said that it is a part of constitution. So if it is a part of constitution we can amend it as well, right? So that was also a question raised. Before that, see in 1995 case of Union Government versus LIC of India, Supreme Court has once again held that preamble is the integral part of constitution but is not directly enforceable in a court of justice in India. Now the very important part about amendment of the preamble. See 42nd Amendment, Act 1976. Now this issue was raised in Keshav Nanda Bharti only, that can preamble be amended under Article 368. Supreme Court held that preamble is a part of constitution and it can be amended as well. But there was a big thing, a big clause put that Parliament cannot amend the basic features of the preamble. So the court said that under article, as it being a part of constitution, we can amend our preamble, but you cannot have a liberty to completely change it, right? So they said that Parliament can amend under Article 368, which gives power to the Parliament to amend the constitution, but you cannot amend the basic features of the preamble. So the court talked about the basic feature, the basic structure of the preamble. Now after the judgment of Keshav Nanda Bharti case, it was accepted, read it, that the preamble is a part of constitution. As a part of constitution, preamble can be amended under Article 368 of constitution, but the basic structure of preamble cannot be amended, because the structure of constitution is based on the basic elements of the preamble. So the court observed, I'll exactly tell you what were the words, what the court observed. See, the edifice of our constitution is based upon the basic element in the preamble. The court observed this while telling that the Parliament cannot amend the basic feature of Parliament on the question that whether preamble can be amended or not. So the edifice of our constitution is based upon the basic element in the preamble. If any of these elements are removed, the structure will not survive and it will not be the same constitution and will not be able to maintain its identity. This is what the court said. That our edifice of constitution, it is completely based on the basic element in preamble. And if we remove those basic elements, are removed, the structure will not survive. And it will become the same constitution and will not able to maintain the identity. So in order to avoid that, the basic feature of the preamble should not be amended. Now under the preamble, India, as I have discussed in our previous lecture, that India is declared as sovereign, democratic, republic, secular and socialist nation. I have described it well, the meaning of each and every term. Now it is the sovereign because Constitution of India does not recognize the legal supremacy of any other country. only because of this word sovereign. So India is free to determine its internal and external policy because it is a sovereign country. Then democratic. Why democratic? Because the source of constitution is the people's will. Right. Republic, because the head of the state is not a hereditary monarch. The sovereignty lies in people of India and the nominal head of the state. He is elected for a fixed term. Then socialist indicates the socialism implies the control of the state on means of production. So this word socialism, socialist, secular and integrity, these three words were added through preamble 42nd Amendment Act 1976. These were added between socialist, secular were added between sovereign and democratic. Unity of nation was changed to unity and integrity of nation. So this amendment was made in the preamble. Something was added only. So this socialist word, this word was inserted by 42nd Amendment Act. Now to ensure the economic justice is there, and if at all there is any inequality in income and standard of life, to eliminate it. So the elimination of inequality in income and standard of life, to ensure all of these things, socialist word was brought into picture in the preamble. Then secularism implies that India will not recognize any religion as a state religion. Right? So right to profess, propagate and practice any religion is already given under fundamental rights under part 3rd of Constitution. So these were the words which were added, and then unity of nation was changed to unity and integrity of nation. These were some amendments made under 42nd Amendment Act, and from here now we are done with our preamble part. In the next lecture we'll start with the very important chapter, fundamental right, part 3rd of the Constitution. So thank you. We'll start with the fundamental rights.